Why I no longer own VTV, the Vanguard Large Cap Value Index. I love VTV. Absolutely love it. If you look at the price to book, the price to earnings ratios, the earnings growth, the returns it's had over 5 and 10 years, it's just been phenomenal. But I got rid of VTV and instead I got VTI. And the reason for that is quite simple, is because at the end of the day, when the interest rates went up, 2022, people forget, man, you might not know this, but for me, I was riding on a thin line in YouTube in my business, you know what I'm saying? Because I was protesting stuff. I got banned for 2 weeks because I protested mask mandates. I was getting hit for, saying, you got to be careful around the jabbies and stuff. And I said, if I lose my business, my YouTube channel, which is the primary source of my leads, I'm SOL. So I got nervous. So what I did back then is I said, I got to buy some cash. You know what I'm saying? I got to get some cash. So I put 25% of my portfolio in cash. I bounced around a little bit between Wellington Fund. I said the Wellington Fund, I liked the Wellington Fund, but it had gone kind of woke back then. And it's just the whole thing with St. George Floyd. Everyone's just bowing down. It's insane. I had VTV, some Wellington, I can't remember exactly what I had or I just don't remember. And I said, I just bounced around. I said, no, none of this makes me comfortable because I could lose my business. So then I said, screw that. I'm just going to go VTI and cash. VTI and cash. I probably had 25% cash back then, 75% roughly VTI with some individual stocks I own, Southern Company, Principal Financial Group, and whatnot. And I said, okay, that made me feel comfortable. So having Wellington, I said, I can't keep Wellington. VTV, I love it. But I said, at the end of the day, I don't want to be just solely focused on large cap value. I need to be, I need to spread my wings, sow my oats in many different categories. And so I just said, I'm going VTI or bust and cash. And, that proved to be a good choice for sure. But now as VTI has grown, and I've added actually $1,000 a month. I still put into VTI every month, putting $1,000 a month, $1,000 a month. So now my VTI has grown more, and so my allocation is not out of whack at all. So I'm at 17.18% cash. And cash, I mean the money markets. And also on top of that, the money markets are paying better. So back then, the money markets weren't paying anything. I didn't want any cash because the money markets weren't paying anything. Paying at 25 basis points or something like that. So now that the money markets are paying over 4, they're probably not paying 4 anymore, but something like that, 3 3/4, something like that. I'm like, it's still good to me. And as such, I said, okay, this is a portfolio I've been very comfortable with since. I got some individual stocks just for the, fun and giggles. And I got VTI as my primary holding, and I still got, I want to say significant portion of cash, but 17% for a 55-year-old guy is a decent amount. And that's why. It has nothing to do with why I don't have VTV anymore. I'm telling you, man, VTV, the problem with VTV is it still only has a 2% dividend yield. And this is the thing, the prices on these, it's not just large cap growth, it's everything. We've had 15% a year returns in VTI for the last 5 years, 10 years is what it is. 12.5% returns in VTV for the last 12 years. That means you're doubling your money every 6 years in VTV, and 72 divided by 15, 4.8 years in VTI. This is just, it can't last, dude. It just can't last. And this is why, you take your gains. I don't want to get in the video on that here specifically, but the amount of money we've made is insanity on the steroids, dude. There's no way this is going to last. And I get these emails from people, like the video I did yesterday in the same stupid t-shirt, which is supposed to be, my wife doesn't like when they go like that, but I don't know, whatever. It's cotton. I bet Serena Williams is afraid. She's scared of this cotton. She goes, oh my gosh, it reminds me of the slavery times. I said, Serena Williams, you better not go to the Cotton Bowl. I hope whoever team you like, I hope they're not in the Cotton Bowl because you might not survive. Do these people just need to stay in the spotlight? These idiots is crazy. It's like once you're in the spotlight, you have this need to be in there all the time. Anyway, the point being is, I always need to have some cash because I just look at my mortgage. I say I need to have enough cash to cover X amount of mortgage payments. That's the way I look at it. And if I can have enough cash to cover X amount of mortgage payments, I'll be able to sleep better at night. That's just a fact. Because I know, every day that goes by, I'm getting closer to Social Security. And I know at the end of the day, if the worst case scenario is I have no debt and I'm on Social Security, I'll be fine. I won't be great, but I'll be fine. And, Social Security right now is our default retirement plan. Nothing inherently wrong with that. I mean, I don't know why these people say Social Security is never supposed to be this, that, and the other. Well, I get it. But here we are. I mean, I don't get why everyone's like, oh, Social Security never. Who cares? It is what it is, man. You can say everyone's supposed to have pensions. No one does anymore, except for federal employees and municipal employees. But you can say all day long that we're supposed to have pensions, we're supposed to have this, supposed to have that. At the end of the day, what we're supposed to have isn't what we have. So the way I look at it, the closer I get to Social Security, all right, the more risky I can take with my portfolio. But I'm still 12 years away, because I'm 55, from even thinking about taking Social Security. You know, God willing, I hope I don't need to take it at 62, but, you know, I don't know. You don't know. I don't know what the future holds. You know, next thing you know, freaking AOC is president, or Pocahontas is president, and next thing you know, they're confiscating our property. Maybe then I'll have to take, they'll put me in a work camp if I don't take Social Security. I don't know. So having a little bit of cash on the side just makes me comfortable. Having a little bit of cash on the side with a more specific, narrowed investment doesn't make me as comfortable. And as such, I got VTI. And sometimes you just got to work your way through what makes you comfortable. You know, sometimes you make some bad choices. You're like, I shouldn't have done that. Well, it's okay. Water under the bridge, man. And now I got where I need to be. All right, hope this helps. God bless. Love your thoughts. Smash that like button. By all means, are you smashing it? Smash.